Good morning, I'm Jade Barrett. Today I'm going to talk to you about counting. Everybody talks about the necessity of counting, the responsibility of counting, how important counting is. Some authors have even said that the first rule of defense is counting. If you forget the first rule, the second rule of defense is counting. And if you've forgotten the first two rules, the third rule, count. Counting is a matter of effort, purely a matter of effort. There's no real trick to it. There's no real specialized talent that's required for counting. You just have to do it. One of the things that I tell people, the easiest way to start counting is when you're declaring a contract where you're, say, you have 9 trumps and you're playing in hearts, that you have 9 hearts, that you count the number of hearts that you're missing. You know you and your partner have 9. You can see them. They're right there. It's a lot easier to count to 4, the hearts you're missing, than it is to count to 13. Counting to 4 means that you have to actually look. I mean, how many times have you said to your partner in an embarrassed way that you missed a trump? That meant you weren't looking for it, and you need to be. Because the only time you really miss anything that you didn't see it is when you didn't actively look for it. Now, one of the things about counting is that you can have a couple of things that can help you in this process. For example, if all I'm missing are 4 trumps, I call them out to myself. Like, say I'm missing the king, jack, 5, and the 2. So I play a heart. Maybe I play the ace. And I look to see what card is played. Not just that it's a heart, but what heart it is. I'm missing the king, the jack, the 3, the 2. I played the ace. My left-hand opponent played the 2 of hearts. My right-hand opponent plays the 3 of hearts. So I say to myself, not that's a heart. I say that's the 2 of hearts. Because it helps identify what card you're missing. So let's say that you're missing the 7, the 6, the 5, and the 2. Now I know that there's 4, and I know they don't really matter much. But it's insurance when I see those cards and I call them to myself that I've actually identified the card. Sometimes somebody, a cagey opponent, will play the 2 of diamonds. And what you see is the red card, so you know it's a red card, and you might glance at it thinking it's a heart. But if you go through the process of identifying the card, then you know it's the 2 of diamonds and not the 2 of hearts. That's a simple way to approach learning how to count. There are other ways to really start counting. And one of the things that people need to do is recognize that counting starts during the auction. That's when all defense starts. It's when all declare play starts. Really is in the auction. Too many times what will happen is that, you and I have this long extended conversation. We have like 5 bids we've made. The opponents have made a couple. We're in 4 hearts. The opening lead is made. And now we're just looking at the hands without really considering what's happened in the auction. So suddenly you're surprised when somebody roughs. But maybe you should have recognized that, because while you opened a heart, your left-hand opponent bid 2 spades. So you're expecting them to have 6 spades. You expect it during the auction. You need to continue to expect it during the play. I open a heart, they bid 2 spades, my partner bids 3 hearts, my right-hand opponent passes, maybe I pass, and now a spade is on opening lead. I see 2 spades in my partner's hand, I see 3 spades in my hand. I'm looking for 2. I'm expecting 6 or more. You might have 7. Some people might even have 5. There are all sorts of different styles out there about that. But right now, for this purpose, I think there's 6. You have 2. I have 3. There's 2 over here, I think. Because remember, whatever number I give to one hand, I can see 5 between me and my partner, that whatever I give to one hand must be given to the other hand. So now I have something to look to count. I'm looking for 2. Now I'm looking to confirm 2. And I sometimes know that people like to play cards in a funny order. Now, even if they've agreed to play standard carding, right, sometimes they don't always tell the truth. So while I'm expecting 2, right, maybe they didn't play them in right order to tell me that there's 2. Sometimes they play high-low, some people play upside down, they play low-high. And even if that's their agreement, sometimes they'll try to deceive you. Remember, game is about bluffing too. It isn't just about honesty and telling people what you're going to do with whatever it is and dare them to stop you. Their goal is to help you go wrong. So it becomes more important that you count. And that remember that when this hand has 6 cards that you think are spades, it means he has 7 cards that aren't. Another thing about counting. What I like to do when I see dummy is I add my cards to dummy's cards. I have 5 hearts, you have 3. I have 3 spades, you have 2. I have 4 diamonds, you have 4. If you're paying attention, right, you can count those cards. You have 8 diamonds, the opponents have 5 diamonds. You have 8 spades, you have 5 spades, the opponents have 8 spades. You have 8 hearts, the opponents have 5 hearts. Now we're going to start counting those cards too. 13 cards, everybody has to have them. I know 6 are spades. Maybe 7, but I know 6. I know he has 2 spades. Now, 7 cards aren't spades. I need to look for, and I'm counting them. So when I play my first round of hearts, and remember I'm missing 5 hearts, and I've identified what 5 hearts I'm missing, I call them out in my head. He plays the 3 of hearts, he played the 2 of hearts. I play another heart, I lead it again, he plays the 2 of diamonds. So now I know he has 6 spades, 1 heart, 4 hearts, 2 spades. Here's a funny thing about bridge. There's something called the law of 3 even and 3 odd. Every hand has to have 3 even or 3 odd length suits. Every suit has to break 3 even or 3 odd around the table. It's a mathematical law. So the moment that I think this guy has 2 spades and 4 hearts, I know he has a 3rd even length suit. That's a law. This is one of the ways that I use to check the counts. You can find the article, The Law of Three Even or Three Odd, which is one piece of paper, by emailing me on this tournamentbridge@aol.com. And you will find, in addition, something called the power of fits. And it talks about how when you have a fit with your partner, like you have, at least, you know, you have a 9-card fit maybe because you've opened a heart, your partner has fit 3 hearts, and you've agreed that that shows 4. That the opponents have to have an 8-card or longer fit of their own. That's a mathematical law. It also helps because it means that you can start counting in the auction. You know they have no more than 4 hearts. That's how to count. It's not just the practice of 1, 2, and 3. It's the practice of listening and then watching and listening for confirmation that how those cards are being played. And you get into that practice of you're always counting, suddenly it gets faster. Like when I have my hand, I pick it up, I look at it, I have 13 cards. I call my shape in my head: 5, 4, 3, 1, 6, 3, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 1, 4, 4, 3, 2. Whatever it is, I say it in my head. I count my points. I count my losers because I like to use losing trick count. In fact, I live and pretty much die by it as a competitor. I count those. Right? I have 12 points. I have 6 losers. I have the usual hand I usually have, which is like 9 losers and a 4 count. 4, 3, 3, 3. They're not just numbers. They're the basis for your decisions. They're the basis for your reality. It's the basis for how you communicate with everyone. The opponents, remember, they're trying to tell you something, even unintentionally. I mean, really, they're talking to their partner, but you need to be listening to them too. So start from the very basic. You pick up your 13 cards. You count your points. You count your shape. You identify your hand to yourself. And try to do it without liking or disliking the hand. Your hand is what it is. Get to know and love all your hands, even the bad ones, even the ugly ones. So, the next time you pick up your hand, say to yourself, I'm 4, 4, 3, 2. And I always do the suits in order: spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. Always. So, say 4 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, 2 clubs. After a while, you don't even use the extra words because you always have the correct order. 4, 4, 3, 2. I have 9 high card points. I have 7 or 8 losers, or whatever they are. And if you say that to yourself, now you start thinking about what's missing. Because the whole game is about calculating what's missing. Now, this is negative information. This is all about thinking about what you can't hear or what you can't see, and watching for confirmation and clues. And that's what makes this game such a great adventure. I've seen countless hundreds of thousands of hands, and every day is a new day that starts with not another 4, 3, 3, 3 hand, not another 7 count. Well, let's see how much this is worth, and let's start counting. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.